Hello everyone, this is JeremyDaniels, and I am getting you another video from World of Warships. This is from a couple of days ago. Grover and I were going out in search for Grover to get his top three in a match and a win. I was needing to be top 5 in the match and a win. 2 carriers each side, bunch of battleships. Only 1 cruiser per side, and then quartet of destroyers for each. I'll admit, when I saw this, I was just thinking, yum, this looks like fun. The Clemson. Good little ship, tier 4 US destroyer. Very much a gunboat. Very much eats just about every other destroyer for breakfast. So long as you drive her well. Like any ship in World of Warships, if you treat her well, she will treat you well. Save for a few of the extreme lemons, but, well, there's always going to be those few ships that are kind of lousy. Now, one thing that we did get very nice here was one of the carriers, that's the Hosho, actually went out to do some preemptive spotting for us, which is always excellent. Nice to get that extra bit of advanced warning, plus with there being 2 carriers in this match on each side, the carriers into duking it out with one another was quite helpful. Technically speaking, we had a slightly better air control than the enemy team did, because they're both in 2 Langleys, whereas we have a Langley and a Hosho on our side. First enemy has been spotted that we can shoot at. It's a Clemson. Unfortunately for this Clemson, Grove is right on my aft, and as such, he's getting focused by the 2 of us. Oh, we're not going to do that. That's very, very jerky, very annoying. Now that Clemson looks like he was laying his smoke with the intention of keeping the rest of his team that were advancing along that line from being spotted immediately, which, very good team play on his part. Unfortunately, because he was one of the first ones spotted, he took a nasty bit of damage, as did the G101. Now, Grove and I are sticking together and very purposefully making sure that we are supporting one another. Now, the G101 did take out our wicks, so he got the first blood. But, just how it goes. Not the best start, but this match is far from over. Now Grove and I are moving up because we have the majority of the enemy team closing in here. And, I made a bit of a misplay here. I did not realize that Grove had smoked up at that precise moment. Whereas there, I was putting out torpedoes just in case there was a enemy destroyer coming around. I believe I am also putting my torps out on the Wyoming there. I was actually having to take some time to actually get the Wyoming targeted because it just was not wanting to cooperate. So I got the torps out the Wyoming, taking advantage of while the wicks being spotted by Allied air cover, and doing what I can to damage him. The Wicks, being the predecessor to the Clemson, is still a good little ship. But Clemson just has it's tier 4 versus tier 3. I believe I had my anti-air going here to help out the carrier. Grove stayed tucked up so he dodged those torps. Me, I was just sitting there with the torpedoes able to go on either side of me. Now Grove and I are focusing on the Wyoming, trying to get him down, as I notice, there's a sneaky little G101 coming up behind us. Give Grove a little bit of a love tap, as I then back up. He's dropped off of sight, so I drop my torpedoes from the other side. That is a feature of the Clemson, the Wicks, again the tier 3, the Samson, the tier 2 US destroyer, and the Farragut, or not the Farragut, the Nicholas, and he sails straight into my torpedoes. I was quite giggling about that. This... Cover your eyes, kids. This is going to be a bit of seal clubbing. That is a stock, or at least a hull St. Louis, coming around a island that has 2 destroyers behind it, that has had 2 destroyers sitting behind it for the last several minutes, and he's just sailing straight and level. And, yeah, not even a chance. At this point, I put some torps on that Orion. I give Grove the heads up to also put torps out, which he does, because that is just a beautiful target. And I call for Grove to drop smoke. The thing is, I didn't realize he had dropped smoke just before I had, so his smoke was still on cooldown. Of course, Grove didn't realize it at the time either, but, well, when you're in a destroyer in this much of a melee, things going this fast is kind of par for the course. Oh, and I see a low health Miyogi over there. Drop torps on him. You can see 1 volley from the Wicks has already come in with no joy. I'm just trying to get the last little bit there. The last enemy, the other enemy destroyer that is not over here, just took out one of our carriers. And he looks to be going for either the Wyoming or the Hosho. I maneuvered, dodged those torps, get torpedoes off on the Orion. My first volley was at his, ooh, yeah, that was a nasty hit. My first volley was along the prediction line, but then I saw he was running into an island, so I just fired them right alongside him. Now, I'm already up to 2 kills here. Now, I continue to maneuver wildly because, like I said, the Wicks has torpedo tubes on both sides, just like Clemson does. And there's my double strike. Very much a lucky go on my end. And Grove did set me up pretty well for that. And now the Kawachi gets to learn about how poor the dispersion is on his main battery. I've ground through the Kawachi myself. It is painful, but it gets better. The Miyogi is still a bit of a pain because you only can get 6 rifles, but well. And here, well, yeah, he's gonna take 1 torp from my first volley. He's a Confederate award. He actually does very well and dodges the torpedoes from the carrier. Very well played. Unfortunately for him, yeah, there's my Kraken. He never stood a chance. Now, we have just lost our other carrier. So, they have technically a bit of an anti-air advantage. Unfortunately, their Langley is being chased by an allied Kolberg, a Bellerophon, and a Wyoming. I started flirting with the idea of going back to Cap, because you still have this Clemson down here. But Clemson, instead of trying to stealth up and get into the Cap, which we would never end up outcapping. He'd never end up outcapping us anyway, unless the Langley were to somehow get that bomber to hit the Bellerophon, or if the Bellerophon left the capture circle. But if he had went into the cap circle, that would have forced me to come after him and the Bellerophon to come after him. And if the Langley could have somehow survived long enough, or at least vectored fighters over to spot, then that could have allowed the Clemson to have both gotten good shots on me and on the Bellerophon. Unfortunately, the Clemson decided to get in close with the Bellerophon. He did kill him, but guaranteed that his team was going to lose at this point, unless myself, the Kolberg, and 2 battleships decided to just let this Langley kill us. And even then, I don't know if the Langley would be able to get enough of his strike fighters or strike planes out in enough time to take down all 4 of us. Could have, not likely. But yes. So this is a tier 3-4 match. I have 2 devastating strikes. I have a double strike, high caliber, Confederate, and I got myself a Kraken. That's all for today, folks. Have a good one.